This is probably the biggest topic right now.
Yeah, it is, man. So, two big name quarterbacks still available right now. Well, one's been available through free agency. One just got released in Cam Newton. So now you got Cam Newton and Jameis Winston, both available on the market.
This is stunning.
All the speculation, I hate going down this line, but everybody, hey man, what about Jameis to the Steelers? And now it's what about Cam Newton to the Steelers? Both of these guys, either one could be great potential successors for Ben, or they could come in here and beat Ben out.
Oh,
so
I don't even want to.
So let's have the conversation, man. If you had to choose which quarterback to sign on a low risk deal, and they could potentially come in here and be the successor to Ben, which one would you rather have?
If we're picking, are we going to talk about if we would just in general?
I'm just saying, we could talk both. We could say, if you had to pick one or the other.
If I had to pick, I'd say
which
Jameis.
one would you pick?
I would pick Jameis.
Okay, and why is that?
Just younger. Cam seems pretty beat up. We don't really know about his health.
Oh, so you say he seems pretty beat up. He just released an article and said he got cleared by all his medical, all his doctors and stuff like that. Physicals are good. And he said this is the best he's ever felt. And he's ready to go. He's hungry. That's what he said.
I like that.
I'm just saying.
I like Cam.
So that means he's good to go.
Wow.
Because he said it. He said, I'm 100% healthy. I passed all my physicals. I'm hungry and I'm ready to go.
See, I don't even like this conversation.
Why?
Just because.
Why?
I don't like the conversation.
Why don't you like this conversation, man?
Because I don't even want to bring in either one of them, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Just because I know how fans are and they piss me off sometimes.
What do you mean?
If Ben just has a sloppy game or something, people are going to be clamoring.
Oh, so you're nervous?
No, I'm not nervous.
Oh, I thought Almighty 7 wasn't allowed to have bad games. I thought he was going to come in here and throw for 7,000 yards, 60 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
A bad game happens here and there.
I'm just saying, not according to you. You
Rodgers has bad games.
No.
Brady has bad. Everyone has a bad
Rodgers
game.
In the same conversation as Ben.
No, those guys are all in the mix together.
No. You said it's Ben, then Brady, then Rodgers.
Well,
so if he's third, it's not even close.
If I'm doing rankings, then yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even close.
But there's a tier. There's a top 5 or 6 where I just hold those QBs to. Man.
But you hold Ben at the top of that tier,
right?
So how could it be that one bad game could make people say, "Oh my God, we need to put Cam Newton or Jameis"? What are you talking about?
Fans are idiots.
Nah, what? Say that
again. Fans are idiots. I'm one of them, but hey. I'm less of an idiot than those guys.
So now you said you would take Jameis because he's young.
If you have to pick, I would just probably take Jameis.
Because what's Cam? Cam is 29?
I feel like
Cam is 29 and Jameis is 25.
I feel like Jameis would be more okay with this is just really armchair quarterback, like way in the distance judging here. But I feel like Jameis would be more okay with taking a backup role than Cam.
Now, why do you think that?
This is just
because when you look at
assumption.
Jameis, if Jameis was cool taking a backup role, he would have been signed somewhere for backup money or even mid-tier starter money.
I'm saying at this point, though, just because how the market is. Dude, I can't believe this because we talked about the QB market a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Is this not stunning to you?
It is. But this is my thing. So why do you think that he would be like, oh, man, I accept this. I'm a film. I mean, be a backup. You said that. I ain't say that.
I'm saying it.
That's what you just said. You said armchair conversation. Jameis is probably more cool with being a backup right now.
I just think that's the perception right now of people. Like he's if you're bringing him in, he's going to be a backup. Unless
I don't view it like that.
No, but that's the thing.
Where he signs at.
I disagree with that perception though. I can if you're the Bengals, if you're the Patriots, if you're the Chargers, if you're the Jaguars, you should bring in either one of those quarterbacks to be your starter. Outside of Burrow, like he's obviously going to be the number one pick, and if you're the Bengals, you're just going to take him, and he's going to be our franchise guy. Outside of him, how are you taking any of those other rookie quarterbacks over Jameis or Cam?
I'm with you, bro.
How?
I'm with you.
Especially Jameis, he's only 25 or 26. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But you said it like Cam was like super older than him. I'm like,
he's 30. He's 30 or 31.
No, he's younger than me. I'm trying to think. He's probably what?
Well, you're 30. You're 32.
So no, but he came out. I'm trying to think. Wait a minute.
10 or 11?
No, it had to be 11. It had to be 11 because he's with J.J. Watt and them. Because I remember watching the national championship with a dude from Auburn my rookie year.
Okay. Dude, he's at least 30.
Okay.
I know that.
No, older than 31 though.
No, older. Yeah. 30 or 31.
So it's not that big of an age difference.
You don't think?
How old has Ben?
You're right. You're right.
Like, what are we talking about, bro?
When Ben was 30 or 31, he was in his prime. So I guess with Cam, everyone just thinks he's not going to come back. He's so banged up.
But that's the
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's perception versus reality right there. That's the low hanging fruit, right? Oh man, Cam's just jacked. He used to beat that man. It's over.
Dude, I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Bears should have taken Cam over Foles. Well, we were talking about that. I would have still taken Cam. Yeah. But I mean,
at the time though, Cam wasn't available. At the time, you would have had to trade for Cam, and if you traded for Cam,
21
you were going to have that 21 million cap. So teams weren't trying to do that. So you go ahead and sign Nick Foles because you knew, okay, if a team trades for Cam, great. But if not, who knew when they were going to be releasing him? And I think that was the difference in terms of why the Bears said, okay, we can go ahead and pull the trigger.
Well, they messed up there.
I mean, you say it now, that's hindsight 2020. But if they were going to hold Cam till training camp, for example, and release him, well,
there's no way because they signed Bridgewater,
bro. But this is what I'm saying. He was still on the roster when Bridgewater was signed.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have want to had that kind of like mess.
He was still on the roster. Right. That's all I'm saying. So you can't fault another team for saying, hey, instead of me just playing the waiting game to see if and when they're going to release this dude, let me just go ahead and get this quarterback that I know can come in here and play.
The thing I will say about Foles is, isn't that coordinator? Wasn't he had some Eagles connection with Reed? Mm-hmm. So that's probably why. But I think, dude, this is stunning to me because Cam and Jameis, you throw in Tannehill, Dak, Kirk Cousins, who else got a contract? Bridgewater.
Yeah.
All four of those dudes, what Jameis and Cam might be getting paid here. Let's say right now, based on how the market's looking,
they're going to get less than what those guys
Could you say it might be around 10 or 15 million at this point?
Probably. It's going to be a lot lower than those guys.
That is absurd.
But at the same time, you can't, because it's not apples to apples right here. It's when you look at Dak, he was drafted by the Cowboys. He's like homegrown there. So they're going to make him a priority over any of these older quarterbacks. When you look at Teddy Bridgewater, he's coming off a hot time where he had the 5 games, balled out. You know he's healthy. You know he already has shown he can start in this league. New head coach. Hey, let me get my guy, implement my offers. They already have a connection, Teddy Bridgewater and the coordinator over there as well. So now it's like, okay, well, now I'm good there. So everybody in that sense, it wasn't as if, hey, all 5 or 6 guys are available with no ties to nobody. Pick which one you want. It's like, no, man, we got a connection with this guy. I've worked with this guy. I've had success with this guy. I want him. And that's why you see the bias there. Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. He's already been up there a couple of years now. He's had success up there. So they're like, hey, why are we going to go try to start over new with somebody else?
I don't know what they're saying.
You talking about the guy that just went head to head and beat Drew Brees in New Orleans? That guy?
He got lucky, dude.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say, man.
He got lucky.
So what? I ain't even go down that path.
The Steelers quarterback.
Yeah.
Dude. I just think there's gonna be too much of.
You're nervous.
I'm not nervous. It's just I don't think this is gonna work.
Why? Because you're nervous?
No, because all right, we're gonna have to bring one of them in for $1 or $2 million. I don't think that's happening.
Why not?
Well,
we've already seen some of the moves we made. Clearly, if they want to get a deal done, they can get a deal done
for $1 or $2 million. One of these guys.
Clearly, if they want to get a deal done, nobody expected the Ebron signing. We had the conversation. All of us were dumbfounded. Oh, where'd they get this much money from? You saw the Derek Watt signing. Where'd they get this money from? Clearly, they create their own money.
Here's what I will say: if we have one of those guys as our backup, then I would feel good about the team if Ben gets injured. Like, all right, we still got a shot at this somehow. If Ben goes down, I do think the season is just shot with what we have right now. So if we're talking from a team perspective, what's so funny?
I'm saying you talking in circles right now. One minute, hey man, I don't want either one of those guys here. Now you're saying from a team perspective, I need one of these guys here.
No, I don't need them.
You just said I could see. If Ben got hurt right now with what we have, the season's over. That's what you just said, correct?
Yep.
So you're basically saying we need a quarterback to back up Ben, correct? That's what you're saying, right?
We could use one.
Which one is it?
I could see. I just don't think Ben's getting hurt. That's my whole thing.
How many times in his career has he played 16 games?
Not too many. But
I was just wondering.
So that's the thing. I still don't view Jameis or Cam, though. We've had this whole conversation as backups. So I just don't see how it's going to work.
So if you don't view them as backups, but you're having the opportunity to get one of these guys as a backup. You're telling me you wouldn't want that?
I mean, sure.
Like what? What? That's like somebody saying, sure. Hey, Ben's not a backup, but hey, man, he's available on the market to be a backup right now. Would you bring him in? Absolutely.
I just don't.
What?
Listen,
what are we talking about here?
I don't want people starting to speculate or they bring.
You nervous about your?
I'm
boy.
Not nervous. Man.
If you're not nervous, then why should it matter? You think Tom Brady has ever cared who his backup was?
Even
when they were bringing in Garoppolo.
He did.
Even when they were bringing in Garoppolo, it wasn't that. Oh man, he about to take my spot. No, you knew Belichick was trying to plan ahead in terms of, hey, look, man, I know Brady's fresh. I know Brady got 5-6 more years, but look, let's get rid of Brady now and then pick up this dude right here. A little different. That's all I'm saying.
It's not like that at all.
It's cool, bro. I ain't tripping.
Wait, so who would you take, Jameis or Cam?
If healthy, because he says he's healthy, I would go Cam, because when we look at it, Cam has been the more consistent player of the two. Cam has shown that even though he can get a little loose with the ball in terms of turnovers, what he's able to do from a passing and running standpoint, he's very dynamic in that regard. People try to give him the low-hanging fruit hate of, he's not a leader. He's not a leader. Why? Because he celebrates after scoring. Why? Because he doesn't say what you want him to say. Why? Because he goes he goes left when everybody else is going right. For me, I've never heard anybody say that Cam's not a leader. Guys that I value in terms of their opinion, guys that have been teammates of him, has never said that. So anybody that has that statement, I personally feel like it's a lazy take.
I'm with you, dude.
Now with Jameis, I feel like Jameis can definitely ball, but for me, it's just the high interception rate. And you can look at the statistics and they'll show that a lot of his interceptions have come when the team was trailing. But for me, when I look at the fact that, okay, if they are trailing, and especially if they're trailing by multiple scores, a lot of defenses play softer coverage because you don't want to give it the big play. You want to let them get all the dink and dunks. So the fact is you're still throwing picks in these type of situations like that. That's not good for me. I feel like you're pressing too much. And that's one of the things that still, I feel like it's harder to teach or to correct that. Whereas with Cam, me teaching him to, hey, instead of trying to run over this guy, slide. Instead of trying to fight out of this, just take the sack. Like, I think that's an easier conversation to have, especially when you're looking at Cam, who's had multiple seasons now in the past 2 years of being out. I think you start to value your health a lot more. You understand that, hey, yeah, I probably could fight for this, but I don't need to. Let's lose this battle here, but win the war. Whereas with Jameis, it's a different conversation. It's more of the, hey, you're not going to be able to make every throw. You're not going to be able to squeeze every ball into every tight window. And until you learn that, that's the difference of like confidence and arrogance. A lot of his picks come off as arrogance in terms of him just saying, hey, man, I can make that though. I don't care. Like, you can't do that. And sometimes that takes a lot more to correct versus me telling the guy, hey, look, man, Cam, I know you're bigger than this linebacker. I know you probably could run over him, but either make a miss or get out of bounds. Like, that's an easier conversation to have. So for me, I'll roll with Cam because I know when Cam is on, when Cam is healthy, Cam is one of the best in the league. We've seen it. We know that. And for anybody that wants to come in this, oh man, he's soft, man. You remember that play in the Super Bowl? I don't want to hear none of that. Because at the end of the day, when you're out there in that game, of course he's just slow. Oh man, look at that. He made a business decision in the Super Bowl. He's a quarterback. Quarterback's first mindset isn't, hey man, let's jump in here and get crazy for this ball. No, I don't care what game it is. All that hoopla about, oh, it's the biggest game of your life. That's cool leading up to it. And probably the first series or two, I could tell you, because in the AFC Championship game, hey man, through one shoot hype, man, it's the AFC Championship game, da-da-da-da. Once that game starts, you're not thinking of none of that. You're just playing. You're just out here going through your fundamentals. It's no different than, they talk about the muscle memory. It all becomes muscle memory. So his muscle memory isn't to, hey man, I see all these guys right here for this ball. Let's just dive in here head first for this. No, that's not what he's trained to do. That's not what he's conditioned to do. But when we talk about Cam, you don't have to worry about his toughness. His toughness speaks for itself. You've seen the tapes. If that's your only one negative, I can show you 1,000 others where it validates his toughness. And for me, man, that's why I'm like, dude, if I pick between the two, I'm going Cam instead of Jameis.